All right, all right, all right. Ooh, ooh, I did something wrong here. All right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming this evening with a message. And this message is Judah. Right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. To cut this off. Come this evening with a message. Okay. Sister Deborah is coming with a message regarding Judah. Judah, 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 Judah. You are to spiritually teach Judah. We are in a time like no other, and Jacob's trouble is before us. Judah, you must teach spiritual truth to Judah. No more your own self understanding. I know that's pretty much all you have, is what you can understand, what you can interpret, take, what you can believe, what you can line here and a little there. You can precept. This here is bigger than precept. A little here and a little there. Line here and a line there. It's bigger than that. Jacob's trouble is right before your face. Only one way out is the route that I'm about to speak on. And it's not so much as a way out, it's a way of victory. Okay? So there's a way that need be according for Jacob to get victory somewhere along the line in Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is not bringing Jacob out of the trouble. It's no need in saying Jacob's trouble if Jacob's going to get out of the trouble. What would be the purpose of saying Jacob's trouble? Does that make sense? What sense does it make for it to be called Jacob's trouble if Jacob's not supposed to be in trouble? I know, can you make it make sense? And these are the sort of simple things that many of Judah males have no understanding in. Jacob's trouble is exactly what it says. Jacob, you in trouble. And one thing I want to share with you, the trouble that Jacob is in is a trouble that Jacob himself can't get himself out of. But Jacob gonna feel that thing, okay? Don't think that Jacob ain't gonna feel what he's in. Oh yes, Jacob gonna feel that thing. I believe without a doubt that the only way out is the route I'm about to speak on. Now, is Jacob gonna come out through this route? This is only route. Mhm. It's up to Jacob. Jacob has been in a situation for quite some time, and it seemed like he's very comfortable where he's at. So therefore, the father had to pull out a day in which Jacob's trouble should approach Jacob. Mhm. And 11 tribes is not caught up in as much trouble uh, that they are in, because one of the tribes is really the head tribe. When it always time to battle or to come up on something, they always do like the military does, sending the Marines. First one go in. When something is coming upon the 12 tribes, Judah have to go in first. Right, Judah? And yes, we do have Judah more than in the United States of America. I believe we have Judah, just as many Judah also in some part of Africa. Okay, so I believe that right today, the trouble that has approached Judah, Judah never saw the trouble at all. Judah would get in this book and they would read, oh, Jacob's trouble, Jacob's trouble. And each and every group would give you a different definition of what Jacob's trouble is detailing. And all of them how would I say it, out of line. Why? Because it says what it says and it means what it says. Jacob, you in trouble. Trouble is on Jacob. Now, how can you make that make sense anywhere outside of what I just said? But if you leave it to these who've been teaching, saying that I'm awakened, these who have started groups and cults and no, I don't think they have organization. They might have. Everything outside of what they need to have. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you something that's very powerful. Notice that you all have not paid any attention to it. Between January, you at least have about 70 Judah lynched. You don't see no group, no ICU, GOCC. You don't see nobody nowhere. You don't see Farrakhan. You don't see nobody. And I don't know what I don't understand. Why ain't people notice that? You see what I'm saying? So if Jacob is going to portray that he's not in trouble, guess what he's trying to say? We're not in trouble, y'all. They just lying. We can call it Jacob trouble when we want to make people believe us that we are the true Jews. We can call it Jacob trouble. But why not call it what it is? It's a prophecy that says that Jacob's going to be in trouble. In that day, Jacob's going to be in trouble. Why haven't Jacob recognized he's in trouble? Did anybody ever think about that? Why is it Jacob have not recognized that he's in trouble? Anybody? Have you ever thought about that? Why is it Jacob just going around like it ain't nothing really going on? And if I say to you, you have about 70 that has been lynched since January, and many others have been set on fire, cut up, and set on fire. That's another part of it. But you don't have no organization, none whatsoever, especially those who say they are awakened. So Sister Deborah, sent a charge out, and the charge is, Judah, true spiritual teaching is to be applied to Judah. Am I looking for them to do just that? No. Jacob never followed the protocol. So a time like this that's even giving him the head up, that Jacob's in trouble. Hey, y'all, Jacob's in trouble. Trouble is on Jacob. Jacob's in trouble. Trouble is on Jacob. You would think people would wake up and say, wait a minute, we got to connect the pieces, y'all. That's how we have to come. And when they connect the pieces, you'll realize so many of them got so many different beliefs, so many interpretations, so many cults, so many groups, to even the head group of each one of these here, Hebrew Israelite movement, they will not allow their men to step into a unity to assist Jacob. They won't let them. So I notice y'all haven't really paid any attention. You don't hear nobody saying anything about Jacob in trouble. Jacob's trouble. Do you remember when it was all high on YouTube and Facebook? Jacob's trouble, Jacob's trouble. You don't hear none of them talking about Jacob's trouble. I guess all this that's going on ain't a part of Jacob's trouble. I guess Jacob's trouble has ceased before it even started. It's gone. So this is how you know that somewhere along the line, the prophetess that's come down to this earth as a servant of the Most High, ordained, predestined, foreknew, and written to come to sit amongst Judah and speak, teach. If I say anything about Judah, one thing about it, guess what? I can't be wrong. That's my purpose. That's my calling. That's my elect position from the Most High Yah. And can't nobody do nothing about it. But they would rather get on the devil platform and say a woman not supposed to speak than who's speaking. You see how foolish they tell the creator, look, a woman not supposed to speak. That's how they see him, as someone that they can give him orders to. And this, and you got to understand why they feel like that. It's because they're uneducated about spirit and truth. They don't know spirit and truth. See, they so uneducated, they have no idea that when Yah speak, he speak as feminine and he speak as masculine. Why do y'all think a lot of times when they talk about hurricanes, they always give it a female name? Because they know already that when anything throw down, that's the feminine part of the creator. They can't touch that. They can't go nowhere near it. These are the things that I say unto you that has caused so many people to have closed minds and closed eyes and closed ears. Now that Jacob's in trouble, Jacob's in trouble. Now I'm going to not stay on it very long. What I mean is I'm not going to take it into next month. I'm going to stick with it this month, but I'm going to let go of it next month because I think, like he said, for his name's sake, all things has its reason and for his will, for it is written. So it ain't got nothing to do with me controlling Jacob's movement, because if y'all been not trying, been beholding Jacob's beginning all the way up until now, he even prophesied if they gonna bust a move or not. He already prophesied it. Because earlier I was telling you about how the Father is saying that Jacob needs to, first and foremost, they have to have a spirit of repentance. They have to learn the right hand and the stretched out arm. That's the power. Don't expect the power to deliver you if you don't believe the power exists. And how do the power come down to bring you out? Same way they brought them out of Egypt, with the mighty right hand and the stretched out arm, the whole host of heaven. So how are you going to get out of Jacob's trouble? Right now, it don't seem like nobody concerned about Jacob's trouble. We're in that day, and also Jacob's in trouble. Let me tell y'all something. The reason why I brought up Jacob's trouble is because the Spirit brought it up to me. He said they have forsaken Jacob's trouble that is before them. So while you as a servant that's taught from the wilderness, you're seeing these things and you're wondering, why ain't nobody talking about it? Why ain't nobody saying nothing? Why ain't nobody trying to come into some sort of togetherness to show the system and the people that's in this world that, hey, y'all ain't gonna be doing this to us. And if you are, we're gonna do something we didn't do with our forefathers. But our forefathers, which is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they knew how to pull up. We're gonna have to step into them, because that's exactly what will happen. See, y'all, the 12 tribes ain't nothing but 11 waiting for that one. Just like everybody waiting for the Messiah. He came out of the tribe of Judah, but look at the whole world waiting for him. What are you waiting for him for? You see what I'm saying? The whole world waiting for the Messiah to come back. Even if they got to call it what they want to call it, the rapture. Or he come to get us. We the believers, we the body of Christ, we the saved one, we the sanctified ones. Are we waiting for the Messiah? But yet at the same time, you're waiting for the Messiah. At the same time, you hating the lineage that the Messiah came out of. Do that make sense to y'all? I don't know how y'all gonna let them rumble that. I have no idea, because to me, something like that is just messed up from the floor. How y'all waiting for the Messiah to come out of the same bloodline that you hate? I don't get it. Don't think they all that dumb, y'all. They ain't that dumb. They know it. They knew it before you even accepted. They knew it. So everybody want to portray, and yeah, I'm gonna be honest. There are some elders, European elders in their church, letting them know. Oh yes, because they're saying that the Most High is dealing with them, and they got to come straight. And they are admitting that they never taught these people this, but they telling the people, and they're preaching that it's wrong. But let me see, can anybody make it make sense? How are you waiting for the Messiah? Well, when the Messiah came, he came out of a melanated woman. He came out as melanated with brown skin. So how could you hate the tribe in which he came out of, but yet be waiting for him to come? How could you be waiting for him to rapture you? Do that make any sense? Let me tell you something. It kind of makes some sense, because I'm gonna show you how mixed up hate is. Now, a basketball player, let's take Jordan. He can run around here and marry white woman after white woman after white woman. Had not he had the money that he had and been the person, let's put the money first, and being famous on top of the money, not a white woman on this earth would have gave him the time of day. Because it ain't nothing about Michael Jordan that look good, to be honest. Nothing. Especially his attitude. Nothing. And this is how, but they were willing to go watch him play. Michael Jordan, they got pictures of him, they got clapping for him, but then they hate the same people that he come out of. How could that be? How could it be hate for people that you're looking to come to deliver you? The Messiah, he's coming back like he left, y'all. Is he coming back? And he's going into back to the spirit realm? Yes. But when he coming like he left. So what is it going to look like when you see him and you think you're supposed to go back with him? What you going to turn around and say, no, that nigger? Or that's what you're going to do? Or you going, oh, I ain't going back. He's black. Oh, no, we ain't going back. Let's get our grandkids and our kids out of here. Huh? Make it make sense if you can, because you can't. That shows you the level of how a flesh mind can be so messed up. Do you know the majority of the Christians is waiting for the rapture? Did y'all know that? Christian is the largest religion at this time, and they waiting for the rapture. What happened that they pastor or they bishops or they pope and they priests, did they ever tell them what they knew? If he coming like he left, then okay, somebody in trouble when he come, ain't he? Because what you gonna say then? See, nobody never think like that. It's going to divide the hearts right then and there. And those that's going to be taken, it's going to be taken because he's going to take them on the four corners, the angels. But he's coming like he left. And to me, that's some very strong stupidity. The same people you hate is who he came out of. Do that make any sense? No, I'm gonna sit here and ask you, do it make sense? I don't need you to tell me it makes sense or not, because I know it don't make sense. But that's the reality, you guys. That's facts. There are so many different religions claiming to know a creator and know him as God, and whatever other name, they still know him as a creator, but got him all bent up and bent out. And here go Judah. 82% of them have no idea that they are Judah. Every melanated person is not Judah in the United States of America. That's why it's important that Judah go teach spiritual truth to Judah. But how you gonna get them to speak that, Deborah, when they still speaking stupidity? The one thing about it, let me explain something what I said earlier. The father got that stretched out hand. He never pulled it back from Jacob. He never pulled his hand back from Jacob. No matter what Jacob did to him, he never pulled his hand back from him. Do y'all understand what that means? That means his power was forever with us. That's that same power we're going to have to reach for to stop this here lynching and this racial prejudice war. It's when we call on the Yah of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And we call on his power. No way. You hear several groups talking about coming together. Bro, y'all ain't never came together a day in your life. And what I mean a day in your life, way back in ancient times, y'all couldn't come together. So it ain't gonna be no coming together in this day and time. Only thing you're gonna be able to do is go out there and minister spirit and truth to Judah. So Judah can come into some sort of gather that they may call on the Most High Yah of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's power. Okay, let me give you another example. Remember, I was telling y'all that I have told my children that I don't care where you at, what country you in, what state you in, no matter where you at. If you ever get in any danger, ever, call on the Yah of your mother. That's it. That's it. Call on the Yah of your mother, and he'll get you out with no doubt. Same thing here. Judah needs to get with Judah somewhere along the line, and I know that it ain't gonna be me, it ain't gonna be you, it ain't gonna be, I don't know how, but Judah gonna have to say something with Judah in a way that they call on the power of Yah. You don't call on that power of Yah, guess what, Judah gonna be killing Judah. You see what I'm saying? You know, they stretched out on. We're about to read it. If Judah don't get with Judah and start teaching and speaking spirit and truth to one another, He don't need the whole tribe of Judah. Oh no, oh no. But I'm gonna show y'all something where I know what I'm talking about. You remember when Israel was in captivity under Pharaoh? What did the Father say? He heard something. He heard the cries of the people. Right now, y'all will not believe it. Judah don't see that there's a reason to cry. That's how messed up Judah is. Because Judah is teaching, each group teaching their own way of interpreting who the Father is. And they molding and shaping these men to war in a way that they shouldn't be trying to war. Now we have one choice and one choice only. And I come today to put it online. You either gonna come together with Judah in spirit and truth and call on the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's Yah. Outside of that, Judah ain't seen nothing yet. And the reason why Sister Deborah say that, y'all, is because he said it. He have prophesied Jacob's trouble. Trouble, it's coming to Jacob. Jacob, you in trouble. Jacob, trouble is coming to you. So what makes y'all think that all of this that we're starting to see, I ain't gonna say starting to see, I've been seeing it, but people are doing and everybody still sitting down comfortable. That's why they got Ben Crump and Al Sharp dealing with something. Y'all want me, let me explain. What I want to say this. I want to say this here because I feel it in my spirit to put this out here. When I see this case of this Nolan Wells, and the Father keeps saying it's all darkness, then I begin to say to the Father, I can tell that it's darkness because they left all the other ones that have been lynched to go to the air. There ain't nobody caring about nothing. Why? Because they like the subscribers and likes on YouTube that they're getting. So Judah is jumping on any and every case, every piece of information about Noah Wells to the point where they have forsaken the 3 people that was found lynched because they just did one yesterday. Did y'all know that? Now that's 3. Now it's 4. That's 4 after Nolan Wells that has been lynched. You see the sign that they sending you all? Do y'all see the signature that they sending to you all? I know a lot of you all, especially you women, especially those who don't have no children. Those who don't have no children that think that they are exempt for these things happening to theirs. You see? Because they don't have none. But the truth be told, it's not because you don't have none. It's where your spirit heart is at. Where your sick mind is at. You see? You don't want it to happen to nobody's children, even if you ain't got none. It's just the idea of recognizing wrong is wrong and right is right. And this is something that Judah always had an issue with. And we're going to read this right here. Because I sit here and I said, well, Father, this is another one. He said, yeah. Because you know what, y'all? I was burnt out today trying to get that verse that I told y'all about. I found it. But guess what? I found 8 or 9 more. And I'm like saying, wait a minute, hold up. All this today, and why haven't they taught each other these things, Father? Why these people won't tell the truth to one another? Why they don't preach and teach this stuff to one another? But right now, they on one case. Why? They racking up this. You see how Judah is? Especially the men. 90% of the men. They racking up on their YouTube. See, y'all didn't know that, did you? Oh, yeah. They racking up. And they loving it. That's why they won't pay attention to the 4 people, because one guy was hanging from a tree, broad daylight at the convention, right next to the convention center, and y'all should see all the cameras around. And they hung him from a tree. Hung him from a tree. You see? You don't hear Farrakhan them, Muslims stepping up. You see what I'm saying? You don't hear, you would have heard, what's his name? Malcolm X would have stood, and Martin Luther King would have spoke. But these Judas today, and they call themselves the men of our nation. You see what I'm saying? And I'm going to read something to you just to show you the power of my Father and how his grace and mercy. The grace and mercy that the Father holds, it's impossible for you to even think that you have any type of grace and mercy towards someone. It's no way you're going to be able to have what he's about to tell you he has. So what happened to me this morning when I got up this morning, I cut on my, no, I didn't cut on. I started my treadmill and I started just doing all my exercise. And I cut on my TV so while I was on the treadmill. And here it is, I'm looking at, wait a minute, they got a letter. Someone sent in, someone's trying to collect that $125,000. It should be way more than that. But you know what? That's how we as a people see things. You see? Oprah, nobody. Muslim, nobody. You see? So watch this. The letter said something, and I really did want to cry. But the Holy Spirit in me said, don't you bust that. Don't you bust that at all. You better not drop a tear. I wanted to cry when I heard them read the letter because someone wrote a letter in telling exactly how it went. And I wanted to cry, but the Father said, no, you don't. What you did, you used the ability that I put in you. And it ain't nothing to cry about. You know why I wanted to cry? I'm on the treadmill, want to cry. I'm listening to them read the letter. Guess what the letter was telling them? Identical to what I told y'all had happened. The letter said identical to what I was telling y'all that had happened. Exactly. And identical. It didn't have nothing to do with the water and the boat. How he came back to the boat after what they did that night in the woods. I was like, Father, why is it that there is a platform that I'm on that you can't tell nobody nothing? He said, well, what about the brick wall I told you was going to run up on? I said, but Father, you mean I'm going to keep on running up on? But yeah, because that's all that's in the midst. Nobody is not really geared to really paying attention to nothing. They think he is a joke. And that's what he keep reminding me. It ain't you. They think I'm the joke. I'm the clown. I'm the fool. It ain't you, Deborah. It's me. Because you know it's me giving you this information. And don't expect them to get it from you because they wouldn't even get it from me. So I don't expect them to get it from you either. I've been telling you that, baby. So I wanted to throw that out there when I got on that conversation because I kind of set an example. But what I'm saying to you all, Judas is in trouble. Anybody at the sound of my voice who are in the full awakening and you know spirit and truth, take on the torch and run until as many melanated people that you come in contact with. And if you have to go speak to some that you don't come in contact with, but you go out, make sure you let them know. The reason why I said that is because how many it's going to have to fall. Because after a while, it ain't going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4, 2 a month, 3 a month. It's going to be more than that. Because right today, there's more than that. It's just that ain't nobody looking for a lot of them. Look at how since New Orleans Wells, they left that woman and all from January all the way up to now. They playing on Nolan's Well phone now. That's what they interested in, his phone. You see, they have forsaken the fact that your own nation is being attacked, and all you can do is keep trying to get more likes and subscribers on your page? This shows you the least of their mentality. This shows you their mind. That's why when they on there and they talking all this, and I'm like saying, but Father, do they understand Jacob in trouble? Do they get Jacob in trouble? But Deborah, you know Jacob got to be in trouble, because I wanted them to know that. In that day, Jacob gonna be in trouble. Jacob in trouble there. And Jacob running around here like they high as a kite. Ain't got nothing going on. So let me go here to Isaiah chapter 5. I want to share something with you all, because I want you all to hear what I'm saying, what I'm reading, and then I want you to hear how y'all gonna sum this bad boy up. But the Most High wants me to make sure I let you all know that the only way Jacob can come out is he has to be able to know the power of Yah right hand. Why? How are you going to cry out to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's Yah, and you don't feel he has the power to do so? You just want to holler and say, Abraham. See, that's what they're doing with all these camps. They start all these groups in these camps, y'all. That's what all of them out here doing. And they got them separated from the tribe of Judah, period. And you don't think that's a scam? You don't think nothing wrong with that? When they started their groups, they were supposed to go on the highways and byways, travel, talk to other states, go to different corners, go to different states, state after state after state after state. If you need to go over to Africa, yeah. But IUCI, whatever that one, in the purple, he likes to do it is because he's about that dollar. That's all he's about. They got plenty. They could have put up a fund to help find out more about anybody have any information. These other three lynches, they ain't nobody doing nothing. Ain't nobody putting up nothing. You see what I'm saying? So to me, it's like showing me as a servant of the Most High Yah, this is what you're going to have to endure. Because ain't nobody going to move. All that spirit and truth you put on that line. All that information in individuals who said they had a spiritual backpack. You see? One minute it means something, next minute it means nothing. And they think they're running away from this page. No, baby, you running away from what you was never involved in anyway. That's prophesied. But back to this here. So back to what I'm saying. The same thing. Back to what I'm saying. It's the same thing. Same situation, y'all. Judah must speak spirit and truth to Judah. And in that process, they have to come into a oneness and recognize the right hand and the stretched out arm of the Father. Cry out for him to come down. And they're not going to do it. You know why, y'all? Do y'all know why? Because they think their power is in their hands. Mm-hmm. Like Dows and all them others, IUCC, whatever, all of them is all out in the woods, all out in their groups, in their camps. And did you know the kingdom ain't never told them to do that? Ain't never told them to do that. Where is they getting that from? Where? Pull it up. Even when Yah placed them into the promised land, and when they were when even during Abraham time, he gave them the land, and they all had different lands right next to each other. You know, it was distance, but they was all connected. What gave these Judah today is that stiff neck and that rebellion and that disobedient. Never want to follow rules. Never want to follow the protocol. But let them talk about anything on YouTube. They put an album on there, anything that can get their check bigger at the end of the month. That's the only thing they shooting their best shot on. And all that is deception and lies. They don't care. They ain't thinking about, they don't realize. Now, just think, y'all. Just think. Just think. Take a moment and just think. If 4 people been hung since Norland Wells, why ain't nobody saying nothing, doing nothing? You see? You got Al Sharp that made another deal with the devil to go down to Washington to march. You think that's going to get Jacob out of trouble? Oh, Al Sharpton, they going down there to Washington, D.C. to talk about voting for you all. You see? And people like you all will run down there and follow him and support him and support the march. All these people of Judah, I would have never thought that Judah trouble is on Judah would have be where they at now, using deception and deceiving. Nothing to do with Jacob in trouble. Trouble is on Jacob. Nothing they doing, y'all. Not one on this devil platform is talking about Jacob's trouble. Of trouble Jacob. Let me show y'all something. Let's go. First, I want to go show you. I'm going to show y'all exactly what's going to happen here. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 3. When you go to Isaiah chapter 3, this is the sum of it. I already know this here, and I think you all know this too. You all should know this here. In Isaiah chapter 3, and let me go. And verse 25. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25. This is what's going to happen before Yah bring the branches back together. Okay? But listen to what's going to happen before then. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men in the war. When is Judah going to be in a war? When is Judah going to fall by the sword? That's before he purged the daughters of Zion. This is going to happen. And you don't hear not one Judah preaching and teaching it. So even though Sister Deborah sitting here talking about Judah better grip that stretched out hand, that's real, y'all. That's really than real. Judah, when I'm saying Judah is the spiritual, be giving spirit and truth to Judah. That's teaching truth, informing Judah. Why? Because you're going to have to grip the right hand of the Father. Because that's who's going to come down and use the right hand to deliver you. To deliver you is that right hand that has always been stretched out. And then I tell y'all that earlier, but watch this. But if the stretched out hand going to be there always for you, what's this here saying? Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men in the war. You hear that, Judah? They don't get it. So even though the prophetess is speaking on the stretched out hand that the Father has out to Judah, why would he want to have his hand out? It's because Deborah Jacob's trouble. Trouble is on Jacob. But guess what happened? Jacob don't give a rat's behind. Israel cried out, and Yah came down to set them free. Judah don't give a rat's behind. He think it's about the deception and deceiving people on these devil platforms. This is the only way that they have made funds and made money. YouTube have taken care of them so well to the point where they done lost their own way. Totally. And just imagine how thousands and thousands of thousands is following that. For what? They teaching deception and everybody's falling for it. But that's about right. Because when I see Isaiah chapter 3, verse 25, the women are on the ground in their sackcloth, burning instead of beauty. Verse 25, and thy men, he's telling the women, and thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men in the war. Why? Because you know that stretched out hand that he said he had out there for you? They're not going to reach for it. They're not going to call for it. They're not going to come together to plead for it like Israel. They cried, and their cries reached the what? The heavens. In this situation, they're not going to do that. So when I say Jacob trouble and trouble Jacob, that still is saying that many of Jacobs are going to lose their lives. But when Yah say he had a stretched out hand, he's letting you know I have always been there with the power. Even when I turned my face from you, I always had a stretched out hand. Let's go. Isaiah chapter 5. In Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20, I want y'all to hear me well, because I wasn't planning on going this deep into the Father was trying to teach me. See, Deborah, this is what's going on right now. And I was like, well, he said, yes. Yes, Deborah. Yes. Because it just knowing the power in the right hand has been stretched out, meaning it's there for us. You know how Yeshua came? The kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's at hand reach, y'all. It's at hand. Watch this here. Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. I want y'all to just listen to this. Just listen to this. Watch this here. Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil. Do y'all understand who he's talking to? Do y'all understand who he's talking to? Jacob. He's talking to Jacob. And listen to what he said. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness. Who is he talking to? Jacob. That put darkness for light and light for darkness. That's 100. That's 100. That is 100. You know, that is what you call 100. Because people would make me the darkness so that they think that they can walk in the light. If they can say they in the light, they could put me in darkness and call it a day. You see? And this is what he's saying here. That put darkness for light and light for darkness. That's the only way they can survive. That's the only way they can continue to walk in their fakeness, is to make sure they switch the protocol so it won't be on them. So they'll turn dark into light in their mentality, in their mind, and they'll make light dark in their mind just to keep them their own self level that they're the righteous one. Okay, now watch this here. And it says, and we in Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Verse 21, woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes. See, that's the flesh. And that's what people are at today. That's a high level right there. They're wise in their own eyes, and the prudent in their own sight. See, they can't see no other way but their wisdom that they have in their natural flesh. They don't see no other way. They feel that their flesh is what is wise. They really do. Okay, now watch this here. Verse 22, woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine, and the men of strength to mingle strong drink. Woe unto them. And a lot of them are. They putting that stuff on them, and people are in their household drinking everything they can put their mouth to. And they wants to come back and portray they holy than thou. Yeah, I see it all. That's why he's letting you know it's being seen. Now listen to what he said in 23. Which justify the wicked for reward. Ooh, that's kind of deep there. You're justifying the wicked for reward? Exactly. Look at all on YouTube. The wicked is teaching y'all, and y'all giving them rewards. Y'all rewarding these people to be something that they are nowhere near like, but they are being rewarded to feed this whole world. The deception, the lies. 92% of individuals on this devil platform has no contact with the Father that's on the kingdom. But you would never know it based on what they are saying, what they are teaching, what they are receiving, and what they got the people believing. You would never know it. Okay, so it says in 23, which justify the wicked for reward. That's 100. That's what they do on these devil platforms. These people get rewards being teaching the deception of darkness, and take away the watch this here, and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. You see, I understand that. You know what? Like I told you, when I was first started on YouTube, I used to wonder what the women used to be talking about. And I used to say, well, what are they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they saying this. But let me tell you something. And they used to talk about a lot of witchcraft and sorcery and a lot of dark magic and stuff happening. I would never have thought it. But I've seen something. I've seen more than what I was even ready to see. It ain't so much as seeing it. You have to accept it. You have to embrace it. You see? Because I would have never known back then that's what they was talking about. But as time go on, you experience exactly what they were saying. And all that time, I used to say, "No, I don't believe that. I didn't take heed to what they were saying." Okay, so here it says in verse 23, which justify the wicked for reward. See, that's how the people on YouTube is, and it's not just YouTube. That's just reality. Everywhere everybody go. Anybody doing wicked, they look up to you, that you all that to them. Okay, and take away the righteousness and the righteous from him. 100. Therefore, he's talking to Jacob now. Therefore, as the fire devoured the stubble, and the flame consumeth the shaft, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their bosom shall go up in dust. because they have cast away the law of Yah of hosts. That's who I told y'all came to deliver the whole house of Israel from Egypt. The Most High and the whole host of heaven. Listen to what they say here. And their bosom shall go up as dust, because, he telling you the reason why, because they have cast away the law of Yah of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. Now you see how that, not only did they cast away the law, they also cast away or despised the word of Yah. They despise the word of Yah. Just watch this here. Verse 25. Therefore, in the anger, now you finna hear the Father finna step in. Therefore is the anger of Yah kindled against his people, and he has stretched, you see that, forth his hand against them, and have smitten them. You see that? Do y'all know what smith means? Kill. He stretched forth that same hand that has all that power. Okay? And he stretched forth his hand, that's that power. That right hand, that's that power, against them, and has smitten them. Watch this here. Watch this here. And the hill did tremble, and porches were torn in the midst of the streets. Now this is another example from earlier today. Now watch this here. For all this, his anger, listen to this, for all this that you have done to him, his anger is not turned away. Why? But his hand is stretched out still. Where'd it go? He's letting you know, I tear your tail up and take you out of here. And I'm doing it, and I'm doing it. I'm smitten them. I'm killing them by great numbers. But my stretched out hand is still out there if they need my help. So who is he saying that if they need his help, his hand is stretched out to who? Edge here that he smit them, and the hills did tremble. I like that because it's forever having an earthquake. That to tell you the anger of Yah is connected to earthquakes. Okay? And he said the hills did tremble, and their carcasses were torn in the midst of the street. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Now, do y'all see that? Now, I want to say this 3 times. For all this, his anger is turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Do you know ever since y'all been in captivity, we've been in captivity, his hand was stretched out to us. Why is it that we never reach for it? Why is it we never took on that hand? Because we are a stiff neck, we are disobedient, we are rebellion, we have a problem with following protocol and following rules. To where his stretched out hand been here with us every day, and our forefathers and our forefathers been here in captivity. And he's still saying to you now the same thing. Even though I turn my face from you, I still have a stretched out arm to you. So what happened to us as a people? That he had that stretched out arm to us and we never reached for it. What happened? Just imagine. I don't think y'all really get it. You really don't get it. You got to understand the kingdom said he had his power right at your hand reach. Why didn't we reach for it? Because what these people are teaching people, telling them they are awakened, why didn't you wake up to that power that was there waiting for you to grip it? What would happen if you gripped that power? That power would have worked on your behalf. But how do you know when you didn't know that his right hand and his stretched out arm was all his power? So all that time, he's sitting here telling you he had a stretched out hand. That means his power. His right hand and arm is all of his power. And you mean you had that stretched out to us and we never used it? Come on now, people. Make yourself make some sense. You can't. Something is really terribly wrong with that. Even to this point right here. This is the same stretched out hand that Jacob trouble Jacob is in. It's going to have to reach for it. But can Jacob reach for it if he know not that it's stretched out to him? No. We've been in here 400 and some years. And not now time did any one of you. Now one of you ever knew that the right hand of Yah was stretched out to you. All you had to do is reach for it. Believe it and reach for it. For any and everything that everybody ever done to us, through us, against us, his right hand of power has always been stretched out to us. This one right here, he's telling you even further how, yeah, I killed you. I killed you. I took your breath. I killed you. You got this level of evil going on. I took your tail out. I smit you. But then he said, even in his anger is even turned away. And he says, but my hand is stretched out still. That's what Sister Deborah is talking about when I say Judah. You don't have to spirit and truth teach Judah, so that you all know what is going on. You're not going to be able to defeat it. You are not going to be able to do nothing with it. Ever. Until you recognize that you're going to have to call on or grip that hand that's still stretched out to you and for you. Because that's the one that's going to throw it out. Because I believe if Judah were to call on to that power will flip the war. Not on Judah, but on the nations against their own nation. That's how it's going to pan out. But I'm just still showing you that this is how it has to, the war has to go against those people, against their own people. Because if Yah telling us that he got a stretched out hand, and we recognize that when we got a hand that can help us in this Jacob's trouble, then somebody's in trouble for real. You see? Somebody's in trouble beyond Jacob's trouble. Because that hand is telling Jacob that you got a hand. I got my hand stretched out. Reach for it. Shoot your best shot. Reach for it. But Jacob's so caught up in feeling good about what he's saying on these devil platforms, what he's teaching, what he's revealing, what he the people got them thinking they famous. I mean, this here devil platform got people up so high they can't even look low. They think they famous. They think they important VIP and special this and this is how it does. And honestly, the people that support them and follow them and subscribe to them put them up there like that. And that's why they can't come down. And even though Jacob's in trouble, you got 4 lynchings since Nolan Well, and you don't hear them talking nothing about it. Nobody's covering it. Nobody's saying anything. It's just gone through by the wind. And that's why another ones were hung yesterday. I think he was 18. You see what I'm saying? And it ain't going to be no end. The reason why it's not going to be an end, because they sending a message to Judah. They saying that we're sending you messages and you still too dumb to get it. So when we start pulling up on y'all, don't be surprised. Because we keep trying to get y'all to see what we're doing, and y'all ain't even busting a move to even recognize we doing this to your people. You see how something's wrong with Judah? You see what I'm saying? I kept telling you, it's something just something just ain't right. It just something ain't right. I know what it is. But Jacob's trouble is what it means. Jacob's in trouble. And trouble got Jacob's name on it. So while they thinking this YouTube and this Facebook, they famous, we got it going on, we got this, we got that, we the this, we the that, they ain't even know what hit them. Because even here, I just read it to you in Isaiah 3. Here it is in Isaiah 5, where he's telling you that then he had to take them out then. Because everything right they was making wrong. Every darkness they made light. Every bitter they made sweet. So I don't know where along the line people's, I just don't get it. And it ain't meant for me to get it. Because you can't battle with the mindsets that's out here. Why? How can I battle with someone that's into sorcery? They're into the darkness. You see? You can't battle with that. You got to leave it where it's at and keep it going. So Jacob's trouble, and the trouble Jacob's in, is being revealed right here. Do y'all really think that these people who would even make somebody? Father, I just don't understand. How is it a people cannot see that people are not hanging themselves? Why is it you all are not doing or saying anything? What will be wrong with a people? And when we tell you what they're doing, they're causing them people to start a war against them because you're showing them how weak you are to respond. Who stands around and let them hang their young people? The same fathers back in Genesis chapter 6 that were selling their daughters for money. It's the same men standing around today like the days of Noah. Not moving toward nobody doing anything to their children. It's the same situation, you guys. It ain't no different. They just got away with it the days of Noah. They just covered it up real good so you wouldn't know that it was about the men and what they were doing with their daughters. Same thing here. It's about Judah and how they don't have nothing in them regarding their sons and daughters. Same situation. Because I'm sitting here looking at it and I'm like saying, but Father, ain't nobody But Deborah, this is what I've been dealing with since the beginning. I saw this from the kingdom. And it ain't gonna bust a move. It ain't gonna change. They're gonna be exactly what you see. That's the way I saw them. It's no way he would be able to identify Judah as to being a person that people that he has to constantly keep destroying. First of all, calling rebellion and disobedience. Why would you want a kingdom? Now, say for instance, if the world called you that, that's one thing. Who wants the Creator to categorize them as that? You see how they don't feel no. It's nothing there. It's just not there. And it's not something you can preach. It's nothing you can teach. But I send a word to you. The only way Jacob, trouble, that's in trouble, and trouble is looking for Jacob. And all of it is happening. These people are revealing it, and they just cannot get over how a people standing around letting them get away with it. Even with this Nolan Well thing. I ain't never, I'm going to be honest, y'all, in all my 65 years, I never seen melanated people as dumb as they are today. I'm going to be honest with you. I ain't never in my 65 years ever seen men be as dumb as they are today. And you know what? Heaven's told you everything in here matches what I just said. It's revealed. But just think, if he got his hand stretched out to them 400 and something years and they never reached for the power, what is that saying to you? Did you ever, do anybody ever think of that or figure that out? If they don't never reach for the power, they said it was always there. But when look up in there. Isaiah, Ezekiel, Jeremiah telling you, he always had his hand stretched out to them. One verse told you that, he had his head turned from, his face turned from you, but he said, I still had my hand stretched out to you. You mean you always had that power there for us to just at hand reach? Yes. But this is a people who didn't come here to be in the situation they're in. They were like this before they got here. This is what the Spirit has told me. But he wanted me to share with Judah that stretched out hand is still yet for you. He said, I did all of this. Listen to what verse 25 said. Therefore is the anger of Yah kindled against his people, and he has stretched forth his hand against them. What did he do? He stretched forth his hand against them and has smitten them, meaning killed, and the hills did tremble, and the carcass were torn in the midst of the streets. Now listen to this. For all this, his anger is still turned away. Why is his anger still turned away? Because, watch this here, because he had his hand stretched out to us, still and all. You see? So what is wrong with a people who don't understand that? And why ain't they ever taught? Why didn't they ever teach or minister this to the men of Judah? Why ain't they ever minister to them that in Isaiah 3, before he bring the branches together, he told you he's gonna bring y'all down by the war? Well, why ain't they? What is it that they're teaching all these Hebrew Israelite men? To where they ain't teaching them about the power, the word, and the right hand. They ain't teaching them about none of that. So what is it that they're teaching them? You can have many wives you want. Get that woman under submission. Everything that detached to controlling the flesh. They have locked these men in a mindset that tells them that the whole way of living is detached to being a king, leader, and ruler, and getting women in control and have as many women as you please. You see what I'm saying? This is why they can't teach him about the stretched out hand, the right arm, the word, spirit and truth, the light. See, these people ain't getting stuff like this, because if they were, guess what? They'll be on the highways and byways and not downtown Jersey and all these downtown Chicago calling people all kind of names. That don't represent Yah. That is not even of Yah. You see, their mindset represent Yah in all the wrong ways. And people admire that. People join their group. People get involved with that. They want to be a part of that. All chaos you want to be a part of. And that's what it was saying in Isaiah 5, verse 20 on down. They in so much stuff, Deborah, I even have to come to Smith, they tells. Mean kill them. At the same time, I still got a stretched out hand. And that's what this message is about. Judah, spiritual, it's spirit and truth. Teach Judah, spirit and truth. Because Jacob is in trouble. Trouble, its head, it has taken, it's heading to Jacob. And I don't mean like heading. It's already happening. And for all I'm sitting here saying this, and I don't know why I keep saying it, but it just makes me, it really, what it does is make me get in my lane. Because it's just like it's no fight in it. It's no strength in it. It's no hope in it. No, it ain't even no hope in it. Because you're sitting here looking at this here and you're wondering what would make all of these people want to represent something in all these different groups, even the Muslim. I mean, in Farrakhan and what I know he sold out. He been sold out. He was sold out a long time ago. That's why ain't nobody ever touched him. It wasn't because he was with no Muslim. He was with the elites. Yes, he was. He signed in with them, whether y'all knew that or not. I know y'all didn't know it, but everybody has signed in and signed over with them. But I look at that situation, like I said before, I look at their situation and I see all of them signed into the elites and all of them caught up in the Masons and all of that, the Moors, all this whole mess have carried on this earth the heaviest darkness and wicked and evil, and everybody is signed in of them. But guess what? Even if you ain't signed, it don't matter. You're in there anyway, because of people are doing the same thing. They just doing them enemy. That's, to me, that's how I see it. I can say to the Father, when even though they doing this and they doing that, the elite drinking blood and they pedophile and they doing this, but shoot, you find that in everybody's house. It ain't been in mine, I can tell you that. But I'm just giving you an example how people are mimicking. They are mini-me's of what we calling the worst of the worst. We could talk about Rothschild, and yes, they're heavy darkness. But is Yah going to look at their darkness any different than he look at your darkness when he see your heart? Is he going to see you anything different? No. Y'all going to the same location for eternal. See, that's what people don't understand. So why are we looking at certain things to be worse than this one over here, when really, honestly, I have accepted that. I can see it just as good as I'm sitting here on this, seeing myself on this here phone. That stuff is just that clear. People are doing all this stuff right in their household. Oh yeah, and you notice what is his name? Trump and Epstein. You notice that didn't disappear? That's what happens. It don't need to be all out no way, because the same thing they doing, people are doing in their household. Oh, baby, I talked to too many people. Too many. Throughout even my living. I heard so many. Everywhere I worked around the multitude. I worked around the multitude. And I heard all kind of Even to today, when I get into a conversation with somebody at the store, people just open up and just say everything. And I'm like, see, we sit here saying they doing it, but it's the same enemy. People are mini-meing right down, all in the front of us, in the midst of us. And you hear a lot of people talking on YouTube about witchcraft and sorcery and black magic being played and voodoo, baby. That stuff, let me tell you something. People got that, people playing and don't even know they're doing it. They have no idea. They have no idea that they're doing it. And what that is, when you deal with sorcery, witchcraft, voodoo, black magic, do y'all understand what that is? Let me show you an example. You see how the elite's trying to eliminate the population? And they doing an excellent job because they already got it checked in how many is going to fall off, because once they pull that G6 in, it's going to cause a lot of things to happen. Okay, so but what happened is they didn't activate their power. They know that mm, 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 mm. It is told to you all over and over that Satan's going to give his power over to the beast. You see? You see how the people. It's about power. So when I say witchcraft, sorcery, black, voodoo, do y'all understand? All that has to do with is power. All of it is detached to power, people. Having the power over someone. It does something to people's inside. That they can have power over other individual or many. This is the same thing the elites are doing. The Rothschilds and all of them. You think it's about the dollar and the oil? Y'all been fools for too long. And you gonna die fool. Live or die and die fool. They don't give a rat's behind about none of that. It's about power, y'all. When they start coming together and joining in different groups, making themselves big groups trying to join, is to come together in power. So when I look at it at this from this level, I can speak on it from this level here. I don't have to be way where they at. I can tell you, people got that same mini-me mindset, is to be able to use some sort of technique to gain power over one. And it's a game. Oh, yes, it's a big demonic game. Why do you think pedophiles are messing with children? Not because they get nothing out. They can go mess with a tree and get the same result. But it's the power over that child. See, they ain't gonna get no power over a tree. It's the idea of feeling they have the power over that child. They don't care if when they finish, the child is dead. They don't care how much pain the child is in. They don't care about none of that. All they care about is having that dominion over them. Having something over them that they can control. And that power, it blindsides them to where they don't care. This is my newborn baby. Oh, I don't care if that's my son. I don't care. That's my mother. I don't care. I want that quick power. That's all they want. And if you ever sit down and really think, that's what many people are doing today. They doing things to think that they can use what they doing to gain power. Now, do y'all get what I'm saying? So when you're looking at Epstein them and mess with these children, eating this flesh and eating this, drinking this blood. Let me tell y'all something. People are doing that right now in your community. Because all it's about is power. Even if they got to use what they got to gain that power or to feel they got you under their power, they all good for it. That's how powerful darkness is. That's that witchcraft, sorcery, voodoo, witchcraft, sorcery, voodoo, black magic, and all this demonic stuff. It's all about power, y'all. Because the only thing Satan wanted was power. And now he's done. And it's like the people is still going after power. He can't get no more than he already got. But the people that has been under his wings still searching for all kind of ways to gain power and control. So be careful out there. I don't care what you're doing and how you're doing it and the way you're living. Be careful with that power because it can blindside you. It really can. It can appear to be as innocent can be. And it can blindside you. Like I just got you telling me about those children. Those children, that 500,000 children that came across that border, they were blindsided. They didn't know what they were going into. Their parents didn't care. Just figured they was getting them over there to America and then they gonna give us it. And that's why, see, a lot of y'all did not know. Let me check y'all right quick. Many people were complaining about them giving them people thousands of food stamps and thousands of dollars, giving them food to stay in the hotel. Y'all, let me check y'all right quick. Every last one of y'all tells. The only reason why they was giving them that money because they took their children. And that was to keep them quiet. And when they lived that 6 month, that 9 month, where they didn't got their kids and gone and they don't know where their kids is at, now they want to stop paying for them. Y'all didn't know why they was giving them all them food stamps? Y'all never paid any attention. That's why I said people in this country, I think when y'all destroy this country, I think everybody needs to go down. That's how I feel. If I have to go down, let me go down with the ship, Father. I see you on the other side. Because from what I can see as a human being on this earth, from what I can actually see, so many people plays a role in all that trash. So many people see that stuff to be okay. The only reason why we on the outside did not understand, I knew it. The reason 500,000, 500,000 children came across that border that's missing. After they got those children and separate those children from the parents, guess what? They gave them food stamps galore. They gave them checks. They gave them motorcycles, little motorcycles. They gave them money to get cars. Yeah, they gave them everything they needed for 6 to 9 months to their children were no longer their children. They didn't even look for their children because they had given them so much. It was almost like they paid them for their children. Now, what happened when they was finished with them? When they stopped housing them and giving them all that, they sent them and locked them up to send them back home. Where's their babies at? Where's those 500 children? 500,000 children. It was in the court for a good, 6 months? Now it vanished. What happened to all those children? See, a lot of us on the outside looking in didn't understand. That's why I didn't bother them. So what, they got all them food stamps. So what, they got that check. So what, they got whatever they got. Donald Trump and Biden was in it. All of them in the same swimming pool, y'all. All this politics is one pool. And just because you've been the fool, that's you. You've been the fool. They're all one pool. And they use you as the fool, thinking you voting for something. And then Al Sharp got in there to take his tail to Washington, D.C., talking about he fighting for equal rights for us to keep have a chance to vote. You tell me if that ain't low. Tell me that ain't a demon on top of a demon. All these issues in this country regarding Judah, and you are out there talking about going to Washington, D.C. He's sending us our dumb tails down there to Washington, D.C. with our dumb tails where ICE is at, and many subject to get locked up. Okay? Yes. So see, he's taking you to the line then. He ain't got no business leading black people, but black people, I ain't gonna say black, melanated people, just that something wrong with them. They'll follow a dog going to lick another dog. That's how that I can't explain it. The father know I ain't lying. I'm just saying it's just that bad. And then where I didn't get it is I used to hear people say that they treated us like we were less than human. But I try to figure out where did they get that from. But the more and more I see how we conduct ourselves even toward each other. I'm serious. We don't show no care, no compassion, no give and game. We don't, I mean, it's nothing. Oh, but when it comes down to shooting and killing one another, we all for that. We want to see the women fighting and the men fight, all that stuff. We all up. We reared up for that. But this thing about them taking them children, yeah, that's what they did. They took all those babies. That's why they was giving them all that money. Let them turn around and tell you they're going to give you all this food stamps, a place to stay, and all that they're going to give you. You ain't going to give a rest behind by all them children you done brought in, because now you thinking you on high hog and you going to get them children back. They took their children and ain't now one of them children been found. They gone. That's a million children coming across that border. And they send all them parents. They ain't parents, they mothers and men back over without all the children. The children never had to go back. We don't know where they at though. Nobody knows where they at. So I say that this is the sort of sickness that's in this land, and that's why I say I don't care what nobody say. When I see this, the way this things are going, even to today, even to this very day, I said, Father, whatever you do, you know, it's well with any and everybody, because it ain't nothing to look forward to. It ain't nothing to really, because the mindsets are gone. It just totally gone. And I don't know if y'all are hearing a lot of people telling people to stay in the house, because everywhere you go, something is happening, and they doing this and they doing. I'm like saying, who gonna stay in their house? But what it is, I understand exactly what they're saying. I understand exactly what they're saying. And there's males too saying it, because they say when you're going out, it's like it's always some chaos. You be lucky you make it back in the house. These are people and from different states saying this. But see, this is the sort of stuff people don't listen to, because they too stiff-necked. They're too disobedient and rebellious. They don't follow the protocol. They ain't used to, just functioning at a normal, common sense level. You see? They just used to just doing any and everything. You just going out here and saying, so what? They bothering us, they bothering us, but never realize, well, wait a minute, who are you? And who are you bothering? And I think that that's a bigger issue than anything, because as I bring the message forth about Judah, Jacob in trouble. Jacob, the 11 tribes ain't worried about being in trouble. The 11 tribes ain't worried about being the 11 tribes. Did y'all ever recognize that? Did anybody ever come to recognize? You don't hear nothing about the other 11 tribes trying to find out where's the other tribe. They don't give a rat's behind about. You don't hear the other 11 tribes saying Jacob's trouble. You know why? It was set up from the floor that Judah had to be the first lookout. Judah had always was the first one on the front line. It's no need in them recognizing that they are Jacob's trouble, or Jacob period, if Judah don't pull up. You see what I'm saying? And how can Judah pull up when Judah is too far down? He think it's about everything that it is not about. So there go the other tribes. So what the Father is going to do, he's going to bring he's going to bring the branches together and get that stuff together. He's going to do that with that same right hand. But as I said before, Jacob's in trouble, and guess what? If you don't reach out and grab that hand that he got stretched out for you, you're going to be in a heap of trouble in these days to come. Because the hand is stretched out for you. And if you don't reach that right hand, and you wonder, I wonder, how is they going to reach it? They don't even know the power therein that rests in that right hand. But baby, it's just for those that do know. So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you tuning in. And I got a message is being held for review. They're going to hold this message for review. It don't matter. Like I said, I think about I'm putting out these videos and I'm actually watching them tamper with each and every last one of them. Do you all know that I can't see the video after I shut down? I can't see the video anymore until the next day. They held the videos from me into the next day. Ain't that deep? I'm serious. And I'm like saying, but it's live. It's already up in the slot. Now it didn't used to be like this. No, it wasn't like this at first. But they're more into trying to get the spiritual seeds. They don't care about the dark seeds. The dark seeds doing exactly what they want them to do. They really on their side. They only after the spiritual seed. They know who the light is. They know who are saying something that might cut on the light to others. And that's who they're after. I sat back and I came up with 2 videos. I took it and I put it on my phone and tried to transfer it over from my phone to my laptop. Couldn't do it. And every time the people would talk, they would cut the voice off. And I said, wow. It was 2 videos I did like that. They wouldn't allow it to come through. Even me. I'm saying something that they want to interfere. They will interfere like it ain't nothing. And nobody won't say nothing. Nobody won't say, Deborah, they interfere with your video. Deborah, do you hear that? Do you see what? Nobody won't say nothing. That's why I say you can just about see the mindsets of people. Because they are numb to any and everything. And that's why I say, Jacob, you're in trouble. Trouble is coming for you, Jacob. You better think about that right hand that is stretched out to you. I know it. So I'm selling to each and every last one of you all that's out here lollygagging, thinking this life is about peachy keen as long as you got everything going on for yourself. Be careful out there. I can't even tell nobody be careful. Let me just stop saying that. Because I'll be told many times, stop saying that. Because these people could care less about careful. But I say unto you, watch and be found ready. Not just ready, but be found doing. That's a hard pill to swallow. It really is. Because people can come and they look, they are here. But when it come down to being ready and doing, they flip over. They drop bottom. Because everybody think that it's a game. But I'm sure that's how they did it back in the days of Noah. The days of Lot. They thought he wasn't serious. They thought this wasn't going to happen. Oh, this is not real. Surely. You see, the same mindset is existing right here today. So I, Sister Deborah, say I appreciate each and every last one of you tuning in. Hope you got something out of it, but even if you didn't, all in my spirit I did. And I say to you all, shalom and shalom.